guys, and welcome to another edition of Pro Wrestling Pulse. I'm fellow partner Quaddy. I am J-Man, and as you can see by the title, Pro Wrestling Pulse is doing its first solo NXT video. Obviously, after the NXT Our Evolution show, which we wanted to do a fucking video for, and I don't know why the fuck we didn't do it. We're going to start making it dedicated in an effort to...
effort's a very good word.
Effort is the big word, which it shouldn't be too hard with the, the fucking quality that we've been getting out of NXT. To do previews and reviews for all of the live specials airing on the WWE Network. Quaddy's going to try and make his way out here if he can on the Wednesdays that the live specials air. And we're going to get a review out for you as well, and we're going to give you a very early preview, but we decided to get it out of the way.
We lose Impact in TNA, and then we just get NXT.
We'll just go ahead and just adopt NXT onto our show and go ahead and do that. So, yes. I
know a lot of you are sad about that.
Yeah, probably none of you. But yeah, you'll probably be looking at getting these, at least the previews for the NXT shows if they keep making it a thing, probably on the weekends, but we decided to get out of the way early. But yeah, just with the quality that we've been getting, the talent that's down there, the talent that is still going to be, still coming in. It's just, we can't not get our fucking thoughts on these live specials because they've really been some really great stuff and some really revolutionary type things as far as WWE's going and what they're doing, and Triple H is doing some great stuff with NXT, and we definitely want to get our opinions out there on what great stuff that they're doing. So this is going to be our NXT TakeOver Rival preview, which will be next Wednesday on the WWE Network. If you guys don't have the WWE Network, if you guys live under a rock, all of February is free. I still just don't understand the people that get these free previews don't see the quality and the content that you get aren't just instantly like, all right, fuck it, after it's not, we're definitely going to be subscribing to this. The content that's on there, the new series that you kind of get, the special series that you kind of get, that you get with the WWE Network, that just kind of sporadic live stuff that you get, like the Triple H podcast with Stone Cold, which was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And Tripp and Stone Cold, it was like just two dudes talking with each other and just BSing about our favorite shit. And really,
I know he was talking about having one with him, or Stone Cold sent a tweet out or something about Tripp, Shawn, Stone Cold, and then there's another person that they want to get in there and just have like a round table.
That'd be
just
awesome.
Talk about like stories about the road and shit. And I was like, okay.
I think it's awesome that it just literally went from ending a character as Tripp's character, the Authority and all that kind of stuff it was, and just ending that and going directly on WWE Network and just, totally just being chill and just getting into it. And obviously they don't, which is good, because if it would have been like with Vince and then with Tripp, they'd have been, in gimmick and, fucking not breaking kayfabe and just being fucking, all character and shit. It would be totally dumb. But they aren't at all. And I think Tripp really is going to start to, I think, with his interview and the ones that keep doing stuff like that, we'll start to, see what we can get out of that, which was some great stuff. Hopefully get some more of that. But all the other, content that you get on there, they had that WWE the 24, which is the backstage WrestleMania kind of behind the scenes thing, which was fucking awesome. I hope we get more of that. That was really, really cool to see. I love seeing like the backstage behind the scene type stuff about how things get operated and things like that. I thought that was really, really cool. And not to mention every single pay-per-view from WWE, CW, and WCW ever. And all of the current ones for $9.99 a month. It's just, they just broke 1 million subscribers, so that's good. Hopefully it'll continue to trend up and people start to, get on this shit, because I don't know why the fuck they're not.
I just hope they don't jack the price.
Even if they do, if they make it like 10 or however, I already use 10, but I don't know. To me, it's still worth it. You're paying $55 or fucking $49, $59 for a fucking pay-per-view, and you get that and everything they've ever come out with, DVDs that they've come out with, fucking all the other pay-per-views and the new live content or the new content they have on there. It's fucking totally worth it.
And it's crazy how technologies you can watch on your phone, TV,
anywhere. Like, I was too lazy to get out of my fucking bed because I have Roku, which I watch it on upstairs, and then downstairs we watch pay-per-views we have on the PlayStation. I was just sitting in my bed and I was like, shit, I don't want to go downstairs and watch it. Like, oh, my phone's on me, and I just watched all of NXT last night on my phone. So it's just like, it's really cool. You do it at work, anywhere you're fucking at. So
I watch a lot of the toilet.
There you go. Way to kill time. Why not? But yeah, so we're going to be starting to cover these shows, and we're going to give you our NXT TakeOver Rival preview. First thing is before we get into these matches, there's a possible matchup with Hideo Itami, also known as Kenta. If people have not watched, and Tyler Breeze. I think Tyler Breeze interrupted Itami, and I didn't see the video, heard about it. In some backstage interview, and Tyler Breeze lost in the first round, said he's going to be watching. So look for that possibly be added on here, which could be some really solid undercard stuff that you kind of get to build a great show, which is what they've been doing here. And Solomon Crow, possible debut, which if you guys don't know who Solomon Crow is, it's Sami Callihan from the Indies, from PWG, worked in Ring of Honor for a little bit, CZW, a lot of different promotions in the Indies. I'm a huge Sami Callihan fan. I think he's a very intriguing individual. I think his look and the way he works, he's very stiff. He's not the prototypical, doesn't have a character with that. I mean, he's got a character behind him too. He cuts really kind of interesting, kind of deeper, dark type promos, and his work in the ring is stellar. And I think over the past couple of years, he's just progressed. Obviously with WWE signing him, so they've noticed as well. But I'm a huge Sami Callihan fan. I think he adds a lot to not only this roster, but WWE's roster as a whole. And Quaddy just watched the gimmick that he's going to be playing, which I saw a couple days ago, which is you can kind of find it if you just type in Solomon Crow NXT. It's the first video pops up on YouTube. It's kind of a new agey, I can't think of the fucking word. I had a word that when I explained it to Reiner, just kind of like a new agey, technological, Age of the Fall type thing. I don't really know. It's kind of hard to describe, but it's kind of it's just like a new generation version of that, and just him with doing that, and it fits him, it fits his character, what he was doing in the Indies, kind of the darker shit, and I think adding that in there and kind of making it into a WWE version of Sami Callihan, I think is going to be some really great stuff. Not only what he can, prove of the great athlete and the performer that he is in the ring, I think that character getting behind it is a really, really awesome shit, and I think it looks like it could be something that could be really impactful when it comes to NXT and hopefully on to the future into WWE. So hopefully we'll get that out of this TakeOver show as well, which would be really cool to see that, which we have the vignettes and kind of creepy, cryptic type shit that he's doing here. So hopefully look for that, which would be some really cool stuff. But to get into the actual card here, with the first matchup for the NXT tag titles, we have the new champions, Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy. Just sounds like a fucking 80s tag team. Going up against the Lucha Dragons. Lucha Dragons were champions for quite a bit, and then Blake and Murphy came in, got a win over the Vaudevillains, and then, hey man, we want to challenge the fucking tag champions, blah, 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 and they ended up getting a win on a weekly NXT show and winning the tag titles. I think it's kind of one of those things just to stir it up, kind of whoa, what the hell happened here type thing. I'm a fan of Lucha Dragons. I think they work well together. Sin Cara, obviously, Hunico taking over the Sin Cara character, and Kalisto, which just the great workers. They're a lot of high-flying, kind of really impactful type stuff that's just really fun to watch, and they put on some great matches. Blake and Murphy really have a lot more to show us. They have a lot more to progress with. It's kind of a younger type tag team. Reminds me a lot of Hawkins and Ryder from back in 2008-ish. That's what I was kind of getting a vibe where they don't really have anything. They're just kind of really jacked up younger guys. I don't know. It just kind of reminded me a little bit of that, with maybe a little mixed in of fucking Caden Murdoch. Almost like Caden Murdoch and Hawkins and Ryder just had a team, and it was Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy. That's what you get out of it. I
can see that.
It's just kind of the feel I got. Nothing really too flashy, this and that, but I mean, they've showed that they got some, combos and stuff like that, and, what's the word I'm thinking of? The chemistry is still yet to be, progressed and stuff like that and build upon, but look for this to be, a fun little tag matchup here, but I'm definitely going with Blake and Murphy retaining the tag titles in this matchup.
Yeah, once I saw Lucha Dragons lose it, I was kind of intrigued to see who they lost to after Ascension got promoted and all that, and since there's still tag teams down there, but a lot of them are learning to, I guess, mesh together. Yeah. It's kind of they're still working together. And I saw who they lost to. It's really, you could have done a little something longer with the Lucha Dragons, or they're moving them up. We were talking about that pre-show, and I don't know. I just see them retaining the tag. I just hope for a good match. In all these matches, it seems like NXT's there to perform. Yep. They really don't care about length of time. They're just gonna give it all and go get them.
Yeah.
So I see them retaining.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think when you got a bunch of these young guys that want to make an impact and they want to make hey, check out our shit, because this is their, every single one of these specials is their WrestleMania. It's their time to prove. It's their time to say, hey, check us out, or hey, look at us. We could be something in the future, and that's kind of that. Where you get some of the WWE shows, and it's like, okay, it's just whatever, just kind of like doing it here and there. Where you get some of the guys like the Rollins and the Ambrose and the Wyatts and all those kind of guys, Ziggler's, where they're like there to steal the show. These guys want to steal the show in every single one of these matches, which always provides a great show, because when you have the competitiveness of a bunch of really hungry young talent, I mean that's NXT as a whole. That's the definition of NXT. So hopefully we get a good tag title matchup out of those two.
And if you look at it with the Kevin Owens debut at the last show, a lot of people who didn't know who Kevin Owens was beforehand pretty much went up to WWE's website, found a shirt, and bought it, because they sold out within the first 48 hours. He was on after he debuted. So it's like they're there to put their name on the map.
Yeah.
And like J-Man said, WWE, a lot of the guys are there taking step by step trying to get to Mania. These guys are fighting for jobs.
Yep.
These guys are not trying to get pink slips or anything. So.
Yep. Next up, we have a no DQ match between Baron Corbin and Bull Dempsey. This obviously starting the little feud where Bull Dempsey started to get involved in a lot of Baron Corbin's matches, which all of his matches last like 15 seconds. And they finally had a one-on-one match on NXT a couple weeks ago. Baron Corbin got the win. It kind of actually was an extended type match than what we normally see out of this. I know a lot of people, as far as NXT-wise, are really behind a Baron Corbin. They're trying to make him kind of a mysterious, really quiet, the lone wolf type thing. The spotlight on him and doesn't say much and this and that. He has a hell of a lot of time or a hell of a lot more to progress and to go with. They're trying to make it almost like just a vibe and a feel when he comes out, like an Undertaker type-esque feel, like, wow, there's some impactful shit about to go on here with this, with this guy. To me, it's very just, I feel like I'm just staring at a brick wall. It's just very blah. There's no real emotion there. There's no real feel of a character. It's just a guy like, hey, I'm playing this dark, mysterious type guy that doesn't say anything. Look at me. He doesn't really feel it to me. He kind of just comes out and plays it. And you definitely don't want to be playing a character. You want to be that character. You want to fully embody that. And to me, I don't think it's really there. Bill Dempsey, I don't know how this motherfucker got a job with WWE, to be totally honest with you. I don't know.
Isn't he the beer drinker guy?
Yeah. He's that guy from Denver, that guy from Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I just don't know. He's just this fucking huge, fat, overweight dude that doesn't, he's just a big fucking bull-looking dude. And bull, fucking whatever. Look for Corbin to get the win here. Pretty much an extension of what they really got. These guys, as far as match quality-wise, don't really offer much to the table. Corbin, again, has a lot of fucking room to progress. I know the most he did was with that Adrian Neville match in the semifinals of the tournament, and it was basically Neville carrying his ass the entire way. So there's a lot of room to improve, but I understand the character and what they're trying to get across, but I think it's something he's going to have to work with, which, a lot of guys, they need more time, and it's kind of one of those things where he's got fans behind him and this and that because they're really pushing him to that point NXT-wise. But I think it's something he needs to kind of get behind and kind of work on a little bit more, and definitely, in ring quality for sure too. But I look for Baron Corbin to get the win in this matchup.
There's one match that I'm really not too excited for on this card. It's this match right here. Me and Jamie were talking about doing this show, I guess, beginning of the week, and then we talked about what day and all that. So I did my NXT research. I watched some of his matches. Really wasn't not feeling him. I understand, they're trying to character build on the NXT, but when your character build is trying to replace a Hall of Famer guy who, when you say professional wrestling, you think of Undertaker, the top three guys automatically, and they're going to try to replace him with this guy. Like Jaron said, he has a lot of work to do and a lot of steps he needs to take, and I don't see him doing anything close to what Undertaker's doing. God, no. He's not going to be able to hold the camera.
It's just kind of it's the feel they're going for.
They're trying to make it the cryptic
when a guy
feel.
comes into the room and you get that vibe type feel. I mean, that's what they're trying to get. That's every single time the announcers come out, they're like, the mood changes when this guy comes. I'm like, no, it doesn't really.
Because people go to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't.
So
really
this
change.
match, I think I'll probably, if I'm over here, be going to the bathroom or changing my drawers for the next couple minutes.
Changing my drawers.
Knickers.
Whoa.
Hey.
He said knickers.
I said knickers.
Nickers. Next up, we had the Fatal 4-Way for the NXT Women's Championship. Featured champion Charlotte going against Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Becky Lynch. One constant and one standard that you get out of all these NXT specials is the quality in-ring work of the women's competitors and all of these fucking tremendous athletes in the women's division down in NXT. Whether it be with Emma and Paige from the first NXT Live special, whether it be with Charlotte and Natalya, whether it be with Charlotte and Sasha Banks. Just tremendous work from all of these women. And one great thing that we don't get out of WWE is the time that they give them and the ability to actually work a fucking wrestling match. Because that's what we get out of all these, all these women. Whether they throw Emma in there, whether they bring back Paige, whether they bring in Natalya, whatever the case may be, it's always quality work and all centering around, if I could get it out, what to me is going to be the future of the women's division, which is a Charlotte. Obviously, the daughter of Ric Flair.
Okay,
yeah, I had to get it out there. At least I'm not talking about fucking Tamina. Obviously, daughter of Ric Flair is, in my eyes, going to be the standard bearer as far as the women's division goes into the future. I think she has every single tool to be the top diva or the top women's competitor in WWE. As soon as I saw her, she reminded me of Michelle McCool, the athletic, and she's not flimsy looking. She's got some meat on her, and she's got some muscle on her, and she can work, and she can move, and she's athletic. She's got a good look to her. She can obviously kind of semi-cut promo. She still needs to work on that. She needs to go talk to Dad a little bit about that shit. But as far as that squeaky clean fucking chick, that can go in there and you wouldn't say like, oh, she's this flimsy fucking blah 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 Barbie doll. She can get in there and work and she can kick some ass. I think she is going to be the standard bearer as far as the women's division goes into the future. She puts on quality work. And she has a presence to her that says, okay, this is type that Trish Stratus type, Michelle McCool type, where she's, an athletic women's competitor that, can get in there and work, and you don't, turn away like, oh, it's bathroom break time. It's like, shit, you get in there with, future type matchups. You can see a Charlotte and a Paige, which I would love to see that type of angle, or Charlotte and Natalya, or whatever the case may be with the quality workers that you could get in a women's division, like those kind of girls. As far as what we normally see with the fucking the Bellas and the fucking Alicia Foxes and all that bullshit, where it's just chicks rolling around and blah blah blah, which some of them have progressed here and there. I will give them that, but it's not you go out there and you're like, shit, we could get some quality work that we used to see from the Trish Stratuses and the Litas of the world. So can't say enough about what they've been doing down the women's division in NXT. Obviously building this whole thing up. Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch have been together, type of, carrying over from the BFFs and all that kind of bullshit they were doing. Bayley kind of showing her rougher side and a little bit edgier side. She's obviously the lovable type, bubblegum type fucking character that you get with Bayley, who's, definitely has a lot of potential as far as in-ring stuff, type goes. You do kind of don't really take another glance at her. She's kind of like, the typical type diva, the bubblegummy type shit. But definitely has potential in the ring for sure. And yeah, I'm definitely going to go with Charlotte retaining here. I think they're going to do something pretty much like with what they did with Paige and make her a very dominant women's champion. I think Sasha Banks is probably the next one in line. I think her character is definitely... She's more, as far as Charlotte is in-ring, great work that you get out of that athleticism-wise. Sasha Banks is the character side of that, where she definitely plays the character up. She can cut the promos and heal it up and all this kind of stuff. So looking forward to this for sure, and it's great to say you're looking forward to a women's championship match, and that's definitely what we're doing here at this NXT Live special. But I'm going to go with Charlotte retaining in the Fatal 4-Way.
Whenever I see Charlotte, I see Ric Flair. No matter like the way she works, the way she handles herself, the way she can like carry a match, the way she has a future in WWE. When you look at a lot of these divas on WWE, they're more there for the total divas nonsense bullshit. They're not it. There's two. Natalya and Paige are the only two that actually can wrestle.
Workers. I mean, I think if you give somebody like a Nikki and Brie time in a match and you don't fumble fuck around, I think they would at least pull something off decent. I definitely wanted to put them in the echelon.
I'd give them like a C.
I would not put them up there with them by any means.
Like I give Natalya and Paige like A's, and like everybody else C's and F's.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But when you have a show that can come in and be the A+ player that can jump over all these people, I think They want to do that, but they don't want to screw up the whole locker room situation. So I agree with J-Man. I think they're just gonna let Charlotte run loose on NXT, have her run over everybody, just knock everybody down, and then if you have anybody new come in, they could have the Charlotte and that person feud, or like J-Man said, bring Natalya down, or Paige down, or an Emma down. Because Emma could probably work too.
Emma's a good worker as well. I would put Emma up there with.
As we saw her in that first show. But like J-Man said, with these shows, a lot of professional wrestling, the women's match is the calm down match. The match where you put that before a main event or before a bigger match. NXT, it's a fucking keep going up type match. So I agree with J-Man. Charlotte's going to win this. Nice to see a 4-way out of this. I'd be cool with the one-on-one with Sasha Banks and Charlotte. But Fatal 4-Way is always interesting, especially with the way WWE handles themselves, too.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that one there. Next up, we have the NXT title number 1 contenders tournament final between Finn Balor and Adrian Neville. Definitely looking forward to this one. The talent that has been in this entire tournament and now in this finals is fucking tremendous. Obviously, Adrian Neville, the former NXT champion, was NXT champion for basically all of 2014, beating Bo Dallas back in February. Remember that name? Exactly. But Finn Balor coming in hot, and really, Jesus, getting over alone by his fucking entrance at fucking our Evolution show, which is something that we saw obviously have seen before in his past, and we're just thinking, well, I don't wonder if maybe some bigger shows they might have him do that. And we saw the kind of elaborate start to the entrance, and we're like, holy shit! At least I was like, holy shit! They're actually going to pull some fucking crazy gimmicky type character shit, which Prince Devitt formerly used to do. Obviously, dressing up or with the face paint, the different characters and shit like that. At the R Evolution, just looked fucking awesome, and his entrance was like WrestleMania quality in front of fucking like 300, 400, 500, however many people there are there. So yeah, definitely looking forward to this. Match quality wise, could definitely probably let me see. Oh yeah, definitely it'll probably be the match of the night. I would think with what I think is going to end up going on in the NXT title matchup, which definitely could fucking be the match of the year, given how they're going to build it, but we'll get to that. But yeah, to me, this will probably far and away be the match of the night. Just guys that have seen each other in the past. I know we got to the semifinals, and you had Finn Balor and Hideo Itami. Duh. You had the entire crowd chanting, "We're not worthy." You obviously know what you're getting out of that with what you've seen in the past with the Kenta and the Prince Devitt. So yeah, Finn Balor is definitely the guy that they're kind of centering around as far as being probably the next guy in NXT and then possibly moving up. I know a lot of people online and a lot of the people talking about NXT and as far as the future goes, definitely pin Finn Balor as being a guy to really think about making some fucking moves and making an impact on the main roster when he gets there. And I have absolutely no problem with that, and I definitely can see that. Finn Balor has an interesting look. He has a look that'll get over with different type fans. He'll get over with us for his quality work and his character and stuff like that. But he'll get over with the girls and the kids for the way he looks. He's a good-looking dude. Obviously, he's in shape. And I think he's going to sell a shit ton of those fucking shirts, which are kick-ass. His shirts look really fucking good. So I think he's going to get over in a lot of very good ways. He's really got a lot going for him. So that's a really good thing to see with all the other fucking talent that's going on here. I need to also mention about Hideo Itami, obviously Kenta, one of the biggest stars to ever be signed by WWE. I don't care what anybody says, with what he's done in Japan and really the John Cena of Japan. I think they are kind of falling down a little bit with him. I think they're kind of misusing him a little bit. I think a name of a Kenta and a man of his talent, I think needs to be focused on a lot more. That's just in my opinion. I just think Kenta's the shit, and he needs to definitely be one of the focal points. And as far definitely in NXT and hopefully in WWE in the future. But him with like a mouthpiece would be fucking awesome, like a Paul Heyman. Can we wish for it anymore? That'd be fucking awesome. But yeah, definitely looking forward to this one. This is going to be some great stuff. Obviously, the in-ring work is going to be fucking tremendous. And I'm looking for Finn Balor, obviously, to get the win here. I don't think we're going to go with Neville again and just do something. They were talking about doing a triple threat feud for the title with Neville, Owens, and Zayn. But I'm going to go with Finn Balor here and the future with that. You know, you could see some Sami Zayn Finn Balor matches would be fucking tremendous too. But they're definitely pegging him as you know the next guy to really pay attention to. They're doing that with Sami Zayn, and you know he gets the title. It's a lot like what they used to do in Ring of Honor. You kind of peg that new guy that was gonna be like okay, and then you get the next world champ chance, and you got that with you know Tyler and Davey and all those fucking guys, Nigels and Bryans all the way back in the day. As guys that you're pegging as like, okay, that's going to be the next guy. Finn Balor is being positioned to be that next guy, and I think it's rightfully so. He's amazingly talented. He's got the character and all that kind of stuff behind him. But definitely looking forward to this one. I got Balor winning the number one contenders title tournament.
When I started looking at this tournament, I started looking at names that would be interesting to see go for the next title run. These past three we were talking about with Hideo and Finn Balor and Adrian Neville are three that could pretty much go in WWE right now and take the U.S. title or IC title and I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
NXT needs like a mid-card title in my eyes. They need something that will like an IC or a little version of the IC or the U.S. or
even with how small the roster is.
To do something like a cruiserweight or something with these smaller guys coming in, and you don't want them to go like, okay, if you have a Kevin Owens win the title, you wouldn't want to. I would want to see it, but you would be more believable if you have a Finn Balor and a Hideo Nomo or Hideo Nomo. Knew it was gonna happen.
Oh, LA Dodgers.
Hideo and like for the cruiserweight title or a smaller title, and then have like an Owens and a Sami Zayn for the bigger title, and then once you win the smaller title, you get the stepping stone. And then you could have guys work on their I guess character more with the smaller title. I don't know, just something I see. Maybe I could be completely wrong, which is very possible. But with this match right now with Finn Balor and Neville, I see, like Jamin said, probably match of the night, maybe match of the month.
Yeah.
I can't say match of the year yet because...
Oh, God, that triple threat.
That triple threat, and then I have a feeling that WWE saw how good that triple threat went at Rumble, and they're going to have to continue on with that. So, I see Prince Devitt winning it, or Finn Balor winning this. If they have another entrance in this, that may be...
I think they will.
I think just if they do that in WWE... I think a lot of people are...
Can you imagine more spectacle and added the bigness to that with that? Oh, God.
Or money to it.
Yeah.
Because Finn Balor used to do it with like an indie scene where it was like a gym setting.
Yeah.
And he just fucking still blew people's minds.
Add that to a WrestleMania type atmosphere.
Just because of the way he carries his character. What scares me is that Neville was, like Jamin said, was a champion all of 2014. Kind of fallen off the...
A little bit.
I don't think WWE had faith in him up on the current roster, or they're waiting until after Mania like they always do, trim the roster and bring a bunch of people up. It'll be interesting to see what happens with him after this, if they continue on with the title or if they do something else with him. So
yeah, definitely looking forward to that one, and definitely one of the vocal points and the bullet points of this card. Next up, we have the NXT title on the line when champion Sami Zayn goes up against Kevin Owens. Oh, how fun this is to talk about in 2015 in WWE. Definitely the fucking amazing path and the amazing career that both Kevin Steen and El Generico have been down together as partners in one of the best feuds in the last 10 years over in Ring of Honor. It goes without saying. If you guys are just starting to check out NXT, just starting to check out some of these guys, go back and look at where these guys came from. Because you look at a guy like a Seth Rollins and a Dean Ambrose and all those kind of guys and a Daniel Bryan that really pave the way for even more of those guys that came from the same situation, because all of these guys were in the same type area in the same situation, for all of this influx of talent to come in, and that's definitely what we're getting here, and we couldn't have dreamed it up any better to have the guys that should be on the top of this roster for sure being on the top of the roster and main eventing the show, and fucking Steen coming out. It's so hard to call him Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens coming in his first 2 months, he's wrestled 2 matches, and he's already in the main event for the title. That's called reputation alone, people, and that's called deservingly so because of what Kevin Steen provides. He comes in, he hasn't even done shit. He's cut a couple promos, and the promos that he cuts, He literally says like 4 words and he's like, I'm done with this shit. He doesn't have to do anything. He lives off his reputation alone, and that's awesome to see because WWE always tries to make something new or like say, this guy's brand new. He doesn't have anything in his past. No. Kevin Steen comes in, he's like, yeah, you know who the fuck I am. Yeah, I changed my name. You know, it's my son's name. You know, I named it after Owen Hart, and so now my name's Kevin Owens. Yeah, I just fucking beat the shit out of people, and that, yeah, hey, how you doing? That's that he's not changed a single fucking thing about him. He doesn't give a shit. He's very breaking fourth wall-ish, very like CM Punk. He just doesn't give a shit. He doesn't take anything seriously. It's why he's one of the best heels in the business, and it's just great to see him. Like I said, 2 months in there, 2 matches, he's already in the main event of a live special for the NXT title against, you know, his best friend, former tag partner, and like I said, over in Ring of Honor, whenever they turned them on each other, one of the best feuds in the past 10 years. Because like I said, if you guys haven't checked that shit out, go back, you're welcome. Because, sweet Jesus, I mean, the shit that these guys did together and then separate in the feud that they did, it goes without saying. Obviously, 2 of our favorites and 2 of the most deserving guys in all of professional wrestling, and it's great to see them in this spot here. Sami Zayn, obviously such a crowd favorite, such an underdog type guy, underdog story. People are so going to get behind him, and we cannot wait to see him, as well as Kevin Owens, make it to the main roster for what they're going to provide. You see what a Daniel Bryan provides as a underdog type guy, a guy that is very, very unassuming. You just look at him, you think like, okay, he's a great worker, this and that, but God, he's going to have a fucking fan base just like a Daniel Bryan. People are going to get behind him because he's the everyday type guy and he's the fun-loving, this and that. That's what Sami Zayn is. That's what El Generico was. That's what he is in his blood. That's how he is. It just oozes out of him. So yeah, can't wait for this. I think it's going to be a prequel to what we're actually going to get out of this. I hope they obviously continue it. And it gets to something a little more legit. I think this will be the kind of like the warm-up type thing that maybe we get into the future, maybe into the summer months and stuff like that. But obviously this is going to be some great stuff, provided some of the best matches throughout the years, through like 2010 to however 2011 into 2011. The stuff that they did together, they just have so much chemistry. They've worked as tag partners for over 10 years and been together on the road, and they know the ins and outs of that. And obviously, you know, a guy like Triple H is going to be like, well, the one thing we need is chemistry, and the one thing we need is, you know, knowledge of each other and what they can go in there and prove with each other to say, like, okay, people need to pay attention to NXT because these guys are going to fucking deliver, and it's a guarantee. You're not throwing unknowns in there together. You're throwing a guaranteed fucking chemistry fucking awesomeness out there, and that's what you're going to get with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. But obviously, look for this one to be some good stuff. I'm going with Sami Zayn retaining here. I don't know, I hope they don't end DQ with a fucking main event of a live special. I think that would be kind of weird, but and not really what people are going to be wanting. But look for this to be some good stuff. But to me, I feel like it's just the prequel to what we're going to get out of this feud, because I think it'll carry on a little bit longer here, which is what we're all hoping for. But obviously, it's Steen and Generico. It's going to be some great stuff. But I'm going to go with Sami Zayn retaining the NXT title in this match.
I'm actually very upset with this because when they had the feud in Ring of Honor, I didn't get that fucking shirt.
We went to a fucking live show in, it was July of 2011, and it was Hate Chapter 2.
Yes.
And we were sitting there, and we were like, you know, they got this shirt, it's Kevin Steen's shirt, sitting there with a chair on it, with with fucking Generico's bloody fucking mask on it, and saying, I have no pity for the weak, or some shit on the back of it. How the fuck did we not get that goddamn shirt? One of the best, like we said, one of the best fucking feuds of the last 10 years. That shirt kicked ass, and we've seen it live, so we know what to expect with these guys.
We were told not to get it because few t-shirts are not in.
Yeah, few t-shirts aren't in. I'm a dumbass. Should have got that.
Should have got 9 of them. Probably wouldn't fit in it now, but you know, it's still the aspect of having it. Like Jim said, if you have no idea what the fuck we're talking about, you need to go back and YouTube it. Just a feud alone. A
lot of those DVDs on Ring of Honor are cheap as shit now too. Those 2010-ish type DVDs. Go buy that shit. Yeah. Final Battle 2010. They're fucking. I think that was their ladder war. I want to say.
Hate Chapter 2. You still see them.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't know anything about Ring of Honor,
look up Fight Without Honor. Was that Final Battle?
Oh my god. If you don't know anything about Ring of Honor, their fucking house shows are pretty much like pay-per-view matches. And the pay-per-view match, some of the pay-per-view matches are just jaw-dropping. But with this stuff going on now, like, Triple H knows what the fuck he's doing. He knows when he signed Owens that him and Generico had the fucking shit back in Ring of Honor, and all people fucking were watching. And then you bring him in, and his first night on the fucking job, he turns on fucking Sami Zayn, so you knew what the fuck was going on. I see Sami Zayn winning this. Yes. Is this over? Oh my god, I hope not.
Yeah.
This is the beginning. This is a stepping stone to something big coming. I think, like Jamin said, they're testing the waters, seeing how the live crowd takes it, which they probably fucking will eat it out of Triple H's hand.
Yep.
And hopefully, I've read some stuff that they may do something at Mania with this, or they may do something at whatever that February pay-per-view that I'm pretty sure I won't watch.
French fries or Fastlane or some shit.
Black History Month pay-per-view.
Hey, it's free. Why not? It's free.
Yeah. But if this is anything what I'm expecting this card, it probably will be better than the February pay-per-view.
Yep.
Because your champion's actually wrestling.
True that. But yeah, that's one thing that we forgot to mention was the possibility of them putting NXT in some form or fashion on WrestleMania's card. I don't know if they'll maybe have. I hope they don't have like just some gimmicky ass like battle royal or some shit. Or may have a battle royal and whoever wins it gets a contract or gets a shot on the main roster,
like a U.S. title match or something.
Yeah, something like that. That'd be kind of cool. Not a contract; they already have one, but gets to come up to the main roster, whatever. That'd be kind of cool. But I still think a fucking title. I just still don't. I think they'd be too scared to run like a. Even if they gave them like 10 to 12 minutes, they'd just blow shit out of the water. Just put like it's like, all right, Steam Generico, go out there and just do whatever you want. Be like, okay, well, time to have your pre-show outdo fucking 95% of your WrestleMania card.
Or have a tag match, Sami Zayn and like Finn Balor versus Owens and Hideo.
Yeah, Tommy. They're like, just put all those guys up there. Like, oh, whoops, they just stole the show at fucking 5:30. That would be fucking awesome.
Why can't we have that at our
Yeah, at our main. Damn it. Yeah, but should be some good stuff here. It's fun. It's refreshing to talk about this product because it's just all the talent is refreshing, and they give a shit, and they're out there to steal the show, and they're hungry, and it's just it makes you want to I want to watch it, and it's fucking almost a week away. It's like shit. It's gonna be some good stuff, and it's a great thing to see. This is always what I hoped of NXT. It's what we hoped out of NXT that we'd get out of it, and it's got a level-headed understanding of the business mind behind it with Triple H, and understands what's today and what's going on right now. And gosh, can't wait for Vince to get out of the picture so we can see that in main roster.
I think Vince is like, here you go, Tripp. You can play with these guys. You can only play with these guys and nobody else. Let's see what he does. And Vince is just probably sitting there just like, holy shit.
Yeah, shit, it's blowing away our main roster. Damn it. But yeah, so it'll be some great stuff, and this talent is going to deliver, and that's what we get every single time. And it's a lot of hungry guys. And like we said, if you don't know a lot of these guys, from the past and what they did before they came to WWE, before they came to NXT, you should definitely be aware of the talent that they have and how hungry they are and how much they want it, because these guys want it, and it's great to see. But yeah, let's now wrap up our NXT TakeOver Rival preview. Be sure to check out our review after the show next Wednesday. That's Wednesday, very random time to be doing a review, but somebody will be here for it. If Quaddy's not able to make it over, for sure will be watching it. So you'll have some sort of review in some form or fashion here next Wednesday. This will now wrap up our TakeOver Rival preview from my partner. What's up?
Hey, what are we wrapping up? Is it on a Wednesday?
I think it's on a Wednesday.
On a Wednesday. Let's check my pocket.
It's on a Wednesday. For my partner Quaddy, I am J-Man, and thank you for watching another edition of Pro Wrestling Pulse, the Pulse, professional wrestling world.
Hopefully we don't put Heck Tiger.